Hello, folks. Today is Friday, February 27th, 2026. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about the video game news that has been going on this week. It's a busy week with a bunch of new game announcements and stuff like that. Happy Pokemon Day to those who celebrate. Happy Resident Evil Day to those of you who celebrate. If I look a little disheveled, it's because I just did another playthrough of Requiem. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The first bit of news this week is Batman Arkham returning? Is WB Games and all their good franchises returning? Well, if you can trust what the execs say, it seems like 2027 might be the year. That is because the head of Warner Brothers Discovery, JB Perrette, he did an interview with Variety and talked about IP and specifically WB Games' biggest franchises. We know in 2026, we're getting things like the Lego Batman game, which we just got a new trailer for, featuring the whole Joker art museum scene from Batman 89. Really cool. Also, apparently they're working on a Game of Thrones mobile game, whatever. But the quote here is that 2027, 2028 is when the real fruits will start coming. That's their words. Insider Gaming reports that the Warner Brothers Discovery lead teased that WB Games will return to some of their biggest franchises in the coming years. In the interview, he kind of talked about last year being a reset, and now essentially, all the seeds they planted eventually will start blossoming. That's how it sounds like to me. Again, not a ton of detail, but your mind goes wild thinking about a lot of things because we know they're working on another Hogwarts Legacy, so maybe 2027, 2028 is when we see more of that. Obviously, they own a million other things, Batman, Superman, the most important things to me. Hopefully we get more from that. Plus now we have the whole situation with the Warner Brothers acquisition, which I know Warner Brothers Games in that was kind of up and down, but now the whole acquisition is up and down because Netflix apparently bailed out of that, and now Paramount is back in the game, but God knows when this is actually all going to get sorted out. But for now, it sounds like people are working on new video games in their big franchises that they own, so all I can do is hope for the best, but let me know what you think.
If your name's not on the list, you ain't going in. Let's see, A, no, that's not right. So it's B, Bane. Ah, here it is. Bat.
In smaller news bites, PlayStation might be ditching PC, putting their big first-party single-player games on Steam or on PC. This comes from some conversations swirling around, most notably with journalist Jason Schreier, who often gets a lot of big scoops like this. He didn't confirm anything yet. It sounds like he's working on a story, but he did imply that PlayStation, as a strategy, is starting to scale back from putting their big games on PC, leading to a lot of conversation. Again, it's not confirmed 100% yet, but it's interesting to see. Is it Sony doubling down and trying to make people just buy a PS5 and be in the PS5 ecosystem? Were they not selling enough putting their games on PC? Were not enough people buying it? I don't know what the deal is, but I'm curious to hear more soon, whether or not this is actually true. And also, it'd be nice to get a little insight into Sony's reasoning. If they're just following the money, I get it. A corporation's going to follow the money. If they're not making money there, fine. But me personally, I liked having the option. As someone that has a PlayStation and a PC, every so often I will double dip, or at least, I'm glad that people have had the option to play on PC, but who knows what's going to happen. Also, big change-ups at Assassin's Creed. It seems like the Assassin's Creed project, codenamed Hex, has had a leadership change. Clint Hocking has left again. He's been back and forth with Ubisoft for a while, but he's significant because he was the guy. He headed up Far Cry 2, one of the creative, experimental, weird ones. Also, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. That's why his name is cemented in my brain forever, personally, as a Splinter Cell guy. He also came back to Ubisoft to work on Watch Dogs Legion, and I think he did the best he could with that, saving that project. But now, with codename Hex, he is out, and he is being replaced by Jean Guzden. He's the guy who was announced a few weeks back as head of Assassin's Creed content, kind of overseeing the whole umbrella. And most notably, he directed Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Origins, which, as a picky Assassin's Creed fans, those are two games I really, really enjoyed. So Clint Hocking, sad to see leave. The replacement, I think, is pretty interesting, but I just hope that they get this project off the ground, because for me, Hex sounded like one of the more interesting Assassin's Creed settings and time periods and the whole thing in quite some time. Who knows when we're going to see more of that? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But the first big game announcement from this week, like I said, there was a lot of games announcements from big and small. Pokemon Of course, Pokemon is celebrating a massive anniversary. Very cool to see. And with Pokemon Day, the Pokemon Company did a whole big live stream announcing a bunch of stuff, updates to Pokemon Go, the trading cards, all kinds of stuff I barely even understand anymore. As someone who grew up playing Pokemon, it has grown so beyond me. It's insane now. But of course, we talked about it last week, and now they're officially out. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green re-releases for Nintendo Switch. I'm excited to potentially dive back into those. I have my old cartridge somewhere. I don't know where the hell it is, so yeah. But they are charging money for this, so we'll see. Still, with that, we got a fun little thing that they're releasing, like these little plastic music players for the old game soundtracks, and a new look at the next actual full Game Freak Pokemon game. This is Pokemon Wind and Pokemon Waves, and I hate to say it, but I think they got me with this one. I always get baited into these games, and it still just feels to me like the same old kind of undercooked stuff, but this trailer was exciting. I like the kind of return to a cool, fun oceanside vibe. It reminds me of like games from the PS2 era, but visually, this one does look a little better. It looks like it's actually made for Switch 2. The music is incredible. The starter Pokemon that they showed off are really, really cool. The way it looks, it's still not quite like my dream Pokemon game. Like, I still wish they did more with this franchise and really pushed it harder, but still, I think this one looks interesting. This one caught my eye more than any others have in recent years, but again, I'm like the boring old Gen 1er, so my opinion doesn't matter too much. But yeah, this is apparently coming in 2027, so they're skipping a year with Pokemon, which is cool. Maybe they're really taking the time to make this one quality. But time will tell. It's going to be a while. Next up, this video is sponsored by nothing. Just you guys. Thank you for watching. I always try to put this in here sometimes. Thanks for showing up for the Friday show for like a decade now. And thanks for dealing with the sponsors, clicking on them, skipping them, whatever you do. Just thanks for being here and watching. It's our favorite thing to make. Next up, in terms of new games dropping, Marathon, technically, sort of. It comes out next week, release date wise, but they're doing a server slam now. We're on day 2 of the server slam where on PC, the game goes completely live. They're doing a server slam where the game goes live for people. They can jump in essentially to test the launch servers and make sure everything is all right so people can actually get into the games. So far, numbers-wise, a lot of people have been playing it. Reactions are still kind of all over the place because extraction shooters take a minute to get used to. But for now, I'm very curious to see how this goes in the lead up to launch. We'll do before you buy when the full game does launch. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, if you're looking for something to read, last week the news slid in last minute on Friday that Microsoft's Xbox's Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, is retiring, stepping down, and being replaced by new blood, younger hotshot exec Asha Sharma. We talked about her statement. She said she was going to mark the return of Xbox, bolstering creative game development teams and making good stuff and not just pushing out soulless AI slop or anything like that. A good statement, but actions speak louder than words. And also, there was a new interview. Windows Central's Jez Corden got an exclusive interview with Matt Booty and Asha Sharma, and believe it or not, she actually doubled down on a lot of her statements, saying nothing is off the table and striking a pretty positive tone for Xbox and where things are possibly going, right? It sounds like a course correction or a change up. Whether that actually is going to be the case, we need to actually see things put in motion. But as of right now, I'm very curious to see where this does go. Because however you feel about a new CEO, whether her background in AI or like that she's not a gamer, by nature, whatever, I think either way, a new injection of like new blood to this can either be a complete disaster or a nice change. So we just have to wait and see how the hell that's going to go. Also, Valve is getting sued again, this time by New York Attorney General, specifically for loot boxes and how it is, quote, quintessential gambling and it's hooking children all around the Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, Dota loot stuff, the loot box stuff, and also the selling on marketplaces and third-party marketplaces and stuff like that. They're going after that. And yeah, this kind of feels like old hat. I feel like all this stuff, at least in the gaming world, like we were riled up about this stuff like years ago, right? So it's almost like, to me, it's like a too little, too late, but like going after Valve now while also people's lives are being ruined by all these other insane addictive gambling apps, sports betting apps, stuff like that. I think they're a bigger fish to fry at this point, but there is no denying that the whole Valve quote unquote gambling thing is pretty huge and it is pretty insane. So I don't know how this is going to go, but in terms of past Valve issues with this, with courts in various states and private suits. A lot of this stuff has been dismissed or never really came to be. So I'm curious to see whether or not the New York AG thing is going to be like bluster or if it's going to go completely to court. I don't know how a lot of this stuff works. I am a dumb layman, but yeah, we'll keep you posted on how this actually goes down. Also, in terms of new games releasing, the big one, Resident Evil Requiem. The before you buy is linked in the description down below. I did it. I really enjoyed the game. Lengthwise, it's about the same as the last couple of Resident Evil games. Replay value is decent, but I think ultimately it was a really compelling game. I got the fan service I wanted as a fan from the original, since Resident Evil 1, since day one. I like the fan service here. I like the melding of Resident Evil 7 and 8 style gameplay with Resident Evil 2/4 remake gameplay. Just from a construction, game design, game direction standpoint, it's really cool to see that play out. But just some incredible moments, a really good game. Like I said, I'm on like my third playthrough at this point. So yeah, I'm a diehard fan, so I can't help myself. But yeah, before you buy, linked in the description down below. On my channel, youtube.com/Jake Baldino, I'm going to do like a spoiler talk in the next week or so. Try to go in blind, try to avoid spoilers, because there are some really nice surprises. Also, in terms of some new games announced, like I said, a handful of games, Pokemon being one of them. Also, check out Marvel Maximum Collection. This is right up my alley. Look, I know I'm like showing my age here, but like the X-Men arcade co-op game is still one of the greatest of all time. Playing as Colossus is still so cool. But this collection is big. The quote, 13 comic to console and handheld counterpart titles from the past. We've got X-Men, the arcade game, one of my favorites, like I said. We have Spider-Man, X-Men Arcade's Revenge, which felt like the follow-up. Captain America and the Avengers, a less talked about, underrated one, but super cool. Andrew and I, the editor of the show, we played that back in the day. Spider-Man Venom, Maximum Carnage. Come on. And also the gameplay that they showed on screen, it still looks beautiful to this day. You'll love to see it. Not only that, Venom, Spider-Man, Separation Anxiety, cool. Also, the Silver Surfer game, interesting pull. It features multiplayer components, a bunch of different display options, bells and whistles, bonus features, stuff like that. Also, I will say the only things I wish were here were the Sega Genesis X-Men games. I absolutely freaking loved those games. I think I have one still. Yeah, I do. Check this out. Look. Yeah, these games were incredibly underrated. So maybe they'll be included. Who knows? But yeah, the Marvel Maximum Collection is being made and published by Limited Run Games, believe it or not. And it's just marked as coming soon. No release date yet. Also, check out FixForce. This is something completely different from Surgent Studios, the small indie team most recently behind Dead Take, the kind of FMV style game. This is kind of like a builder extraction survival thing. 6 players. Essentially, you have to build and craft your way across a map as little fix-it robots. It seems creative and kind of zany. So this is launching not too far, March 12th. Also, check out Steel Artery, Train City Builder. This is a bit more hardcore, and despite the awkward title, this just looks cool as hell. It's a steampunk fantasy train city builder, which means you're building a complex, detailed city on a moving train, and it's got kind of like some lo-fi aspects, but lots of needs to manage, lots of data on screen. This could be compelling for a certain type of nerd. Also, check out Ritter and Rotwein. I love this old style medieval art style, but this is from Hurdy-Gurdy Games, and this is a 2D physics-based ragdoll platformer where you're going across this linear adventure, stabbing and fighting dudes, but also jumping around, swinging on ropes. It looks deliciously stupid. It has a demo on Steam now. I'm going to download that and check that out at some point. Also, check out Truckful. This just is cool vibes, man. Indie and AA games just look more and more interesting nowadays, and this just looks like a good, fun delivery game with a great presentation style, art style, music, and seemingly good driving physics as well. Also, check out Star Wrath. This is a space extraction game. It seems mostly dogfighting and like ship-based battles focused. You're gonna have like your own pilot, customizable ships, multiplayer. This could be cool. It looks a little smaller scale, but it looks like it's punching up, and I hope they make good on that premise. Also, Samson, a Tindleston story. We've talked about this one a lot. This is the one that at first a lot of people were comparing to GTA, just a big kind of open world guy punching people, driving and stuff like that. It's a smaller experience, but it got a new trailer, and it is releasing in April, not too far away. This is from Liquid Swords, a new studio founded behind the guys behind Avalanche, so Just Cause, and specifically the Mad Max game. There's a lot of Mad Max game DNA in this game. I can say that because I did a hands-on preview. I played about an hour of the game last week, and I still played a work-in-progress version, and I will admit some of it is still pretty rough. Specifically, the combat, the presentation. The combat didn't quite hit. The concepts, the physics, the punchiness of it, the ideas are great, but the execution in the version I played isn't quite there yet. But the world they built, really cool. The way it's structured around earning money and time of day and how many missions you can spend in a time of day. Really, really interesting the way it's being constructed. The world they built is cool to drive through. The detail is incredible. And the fact that they're kind of doing a less is more thing, they're doing quality over quantity. It's not a massive open world experience, and they're only charging like, I think $25 or so for it. So I like that they're experimenting. I like that they're trying. I like seeing AA games try and do shit like this. I still need to see more. Like I said, I only played an hour and I played a work in progress version, so there were things that were iffy, but I'm still hopeful for this one, but I don't know yet. We're gonna have to wait and see. Also, last but certainly not least, we got our first image of the God of War Amazon TV series. We have Kratos and Atreus himself here, released in an official still. And yeah. Yep. I don't know, man. It's tough for me. It must be like a thing with like seeing a video game character translated to a real person. That's hard to nail. I'll wait till I see the show before I completely shit on it. It's one screenshot, but yeah, I don't know. Some people are into it. I could be off. Let me know what you think. We just need more beard. Is that crazy? I don't know. I say that as somebody who can't even grow a full beard, but I digress. Let me know what you think about God of War. Let me know what you think about everything going on this week. If you were jumping into the Marathon Server Slam, I'd love to know your first impressions. What do you think about PlayStation potentially ditching PC? What do you think about Warner Brothers actually bringing back a Batman or a Harry Potter or God knows whatever else from what they own? Lord of the Rings, could be anything. Let's talk anything gaming news down in the comments. Hopefully you have a good weekend playing whatever you are. There's going to be a pinned comment. Reply to that. Please let us know what you're playing. Hopefully it's something good. I'm going to go back to playing Resident Evil. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Be well. I'm Jake Baldino. Pizza's on me. See ya.